Street, catch me in State 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 Street, catch about the beats.
What's good, everybody? This is State Street Beats Radio. Brought to you by WQRT LP 99.1. Broadcasting from Naptown, USA. We have a little bit of a different episode this go around. It'll be a shorter, condensed episode up front. And then we have a short conversation and an original beat set from Johnny Dujour, aka 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚𝗓. And it just so happens you can find Johnny Dujour and 𝗕𝗥𝗪𝗡 along with Sanford Black Thursday, March 27th at State Street Pub for this month's edition of State Street Beats. Kicking it off, we got 𝗕𝗥𝗪𝗡. Let's go.
me in the street. Catch me in the street. Catch me in the street. Catch about the beats.
You've been listening to State Street Beats Radio.
Catch me in State Street.
In the mix, you have recently heard 𝗕𝗪𝗪, starcrusher, Curator Kitty, Jawnski. This is Saltfeend. And coming up next, we got Lonegevity.
y'all to give it up. Give to something. It's time for y'all to give up. It's reparation time. That's what you get to tell y'all. Where the f that? Right. And where the reparation?
prefer the 45 extended play version, and for the millions of teenagers anxiously awaiting the latest pop hit, an ingenious machine turns them out automatically. The record compound, the finest pure vinyl obtainable, is fed into the press in granular form. It is forced by hydraulic pressure into a soft plastic in just the right amount for one record.
Thank you for joining us at State Street Beats Radio. In the mix, you've recently heard Makwolf featuring Phillip David, 𝗕𝗢𝗪𝗡𝗚𝗏, Sadiva, and this is the Klinik that you're riding out to right now. And I hear Ace one up in the beat. Shout out to Ace, and shout out to you. Up next, we have a short conversation and an exclusive beat set from Dujour. Some of you may know him as 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚𝗚. Others may know him from his time and work with lyrics and libations. And even fewer may know of him from the exquisite snacks he keeps casually chilling around his apartment. Shout out to the chili mango from the Indian spot. So what's going on, Johnny?
Yo, not much, man. How we doing? Happy New Year.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming and doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So yeah, we're just gonna get in this short little conversation. Just got a few questions, and then we'll just let it
Let's
rip.
knock them out.
All
Yeah.
right. So first and foremost, how long you been making beats for?
Yeah, well, if it's 2025, I started in 2010, so that's going on 15 years. So
Nice.
yeah, it came up real quick. Yeah, feels like I just started.
What made you want to get into it in the first place?
I had done a little bit of production on my own, more like Bob Dylan type acoustic stuff with like pretty simple setup, but I recorded track stuff out in Sony Acid Pro back in the day.
Oh, I used to use Acid Pro too at work.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So that was my like baby producing days. Like I technically was, but it was more about the songwriting at the time. But then a few years later in college, met up with buddy I met through tennis, then never saw him until the last year, and we formed a hip hop duo where I started making the tracks and he was rapping, and it was pretty rock influenced at the time. I was in a blues rock band.
Okay.
And that was my main creative vessel. I was the songwriter and frontman for the band. And I've had a few songs with that band that I wanted a rapper to sit in on. I had sort of pictured that, but didn't really know anyone who was capable or who would have fit. And I was like, yo, come do some shows. And he came, and we quickly formed a band. And that's when I learned Fruity Loops,
Okay.
what people now refer to as FL Studio.
Yeah.
We called it Fruity Loops back in the day. But it was a combination of, I would sequence in Fruity Loops and then drag it over and finish it in Sony Acid Pro, because I was somewhat familiar from doing a couple
That's
projects
wild.
before. So, yeah,
That's awesome, man. I got a band background too, so like.
that's right. I saw
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
some footage of your band recently. Yeah, it was
getting
pretty
into
cool.
it on the other end too. That's awesome. So yeah, any like notable influences that you like to mention?
Yeah, really depends on what time you catch me.
A
It's
wide
been
array,
a
I'm
few.
sure. Yeah.
I gotta say, last 5-ish years, Mind Design comes to mind in
Dope.
terms of someone who changed how I thought about what beat making can be. Honestly, changed my process a lot. Really, this one YouTube series called 10-Minute Drill.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good ones, and there's a few people who I really like. It's not your best 10 minutes, great, but like your worst 10 minutes, no one wants to listen
The
to that
Mind
for
Design
me or
is
any
fire,
like
though.
yeah. But his is just so effortless, and I really I have a whole project that I basically modeled after that. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, Mind Design is definitely a huge influence. Great, like any of his projects, I could listen all day.
So what's your workflow like in the studio? What's your workflow usually like? And do you have any sort of things you like to do in order to prepare or to get into the creative mode, or just go?
Yeah, and like a lot of people would say, it's it always depends on the situation, but when I'm sampling specifically, that's where I really came to have a process during COVID. I really kick things up. I was cooling off with music. I was working in a restaurant, was much more interested in that. Kind of had music on the side, and then really flipped in COVID where I had a space, a dedicated space, and would spend, like 40, 50-hour weeks just, like that was my job. So that process really kind of formed out of that, where sometimes I would come into the studio, what ended up being 12 or 14-hour session. I'd be there all day, pack a lunch, like bring whatever. Sometimes I'd spend the first couple of hours just listening, just cruising YouTube.
Yeah.
Just kind of spacing out, just getting settled. Like I know I'm going to be there all day, so I'm just getting settled, letting the edible kick in a little bit.
You got to find the right sample too. That's not necessarily an easy thing.
It was all about the listening, and it made me really appreciate the low end, because the setup there, the monitors were incredible, and they had much more low end than my KRKs at the time, and it was like so
everything sounded fresh. And
so all I wanted to do was I just wanted to go there and listen. Like almost half of my time in the studio is just listening, just cruising to stuff I had never listened to before. I would find something I like, pull it into Logic, usually try to chop it up. Sometimes that works, sometimes it's like, nah, it's already tight, maybe just slow it down a little.
Right.
What changed in my process then that I still have now is the repetition and having the mindset like 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚𝗏 said, try to make trash.
Right.
Like not in a bad way, but in a way that's disposable, where like you're not going to, it's very low stakes. You're not gonna,
it's like an exercise.
if you make enough that 90% of it goes in the trash can, but you got enough that the top 10% is really cool, great. Yeah. So if that's the process that it takes to get to that, set out to make something disposable. Who cares?
Then something
the freedom that comes with that is allows you to make
100%.
Something really cool. So yeah, that's a long way around. That's how my process changed.
And that's and that's awesome to hear, because everybody comes at it from a different way. Like there for the longest time I was just like, when the moment's right, but then sometimes that moment was never, and as soon as you force yourself to do it, then you're in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, now I'm having fun. And all it took was just to get over here and start doing it, even though I didn't really technically feel like
it's just the cadence.
Yeah. It's like it's an exercise. It's like practice, like, and
trumpet players spend probably 95% of their time playing is practicing.
Yeah.
So
with what we do, it's
for
not
us. Like
right,
it's
it's a different way of practice.
It's a different type of instrument completely, and a different process. But we still need that exploratory, fundamental, sometimes mindless. Like for me, that's why I don't have to think about that at all. I can do that every day, and I won't get tired of it. Like, and I'm still coming back to a mantra or some kind of cadence where I'm always working on music.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's where you want to be, like that's a good place to be.
I hope so.
I don't know. I mean, as long as you feel like it's working for you, and I mean, I think you're doing some pretty incredible stuff. So I feel like it's working for you, man.
I always feel like I'm behind, but
no.
I think we may have some catch up soon because got a little more time. Yeah, this will be good.
So, from firsthand experience, I know that you're a consumer of fine snacks. And
the question of the day, folks.
This is one right here. Give me your top three snacks.
All time or lately?
Or, I mean, even more specifically, do you snack when you're working on music?
For sure. Yeah. It's not a must.
You're not like starving yourself and Bowski's trying to jump up.
Yeah, come on, pup.
He's done with the treat. He's back.
Well, we're talking about food, so the dog's got to be involved.
Of course. He's like, what's up? What snacks we talking about?
So, yeah.
Just top three snacks.
Lately, well, so
right now that you got.
Could be all-timer, but even just this week, at home for Christmas, my mom pulled out these Belgian dark chocolate waves. So they literally look like Pringles, but smaller, like little Pringles, and they come in like a plastic package where they're stacked. There's like stacks of them, like little Pringle things, and it kind of has the crunch of like a rice like crackle thing, but they're real thin and they're dark chocolate. So it's like a little dark chocolate potato chip somehow. Not salty, like just dark chocolate. So that one's been pretty. I have those at the spot. You know, voodoo chips. The Zaps.
Oh yeah,
Zaps
yeah.
Chips. They're like a barbecue salt and vinegar hybrid something magic. Voodoo.
Yes.
They make these voodoo flavored pretzels. It's just pretzels coated in powder, but it's a real good powder. Like in the way that Cooler Ranch powder is really good powder.
Like the Grippo dust.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that level of like they hit the numbers with.
They know what's going on with this like chemical formulation.
So, but these pretzels, man, are so addicting. Don't start if you're listening. Like, don't even buy them. It's not worth it. Save the money.
And the third, what we got?
Man, I mean, just cheese. A nice.
Man, you do.
Any kind of aged Gouda is what I always come back
blue
to.
cheese
I try a lot of blue cheese. I try a lot of
one
different
time after
kinds
that
of cheese.
L&O was crazy.
Yeah, good room temperature blue cheese.
Yeah, it's gotta be room
spread
temp.
on like a wheat tin or something. Like, doesn't have to be too crazy, but yeah, good cheese is a must. Had a couple days ago there was a extra aged Gouda I got in this Italian joint in Jersey, and it was one of the best ones I maybe ever had. Real good. There was like half of it left in the fridge. I was like, yeah, we got to do this. Cut it all up. So, yeah.
Well, anything else you want to let the people out in Radio Land know? Anything you got coming up?
You know, there's a lot of stuff coming up. Nothing specific to promote. I wish I could say I had a release date for a few of the projects I'm working on, but I'll say, my main goal is summer 2025. Sweat Squad's going to be
Sweat Squad
happening. Yeah, working on that.
Any Sweat Squad?
Sweat Squad.
In this mix we're about to get into.
You know, I kept it. Most of this mix is from earlier. A lot of the mix is from that time in California where I spent just a lot of time making a whole bunch of beats, churning them out. But yeah, no Sweat Squad on this. Right. Yeah, they're still
keep it tough.
Yeah, still polishing, but
it's a summertime thing. Anyway.
Yeah, keep that in mind. But otherwise, just stay wavy out there, folks. That's really all I'm trying to do.
Hey, all right, get into this 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚, aka Johnny Dujour. Hey. Let's go. This has been Johnny Dujour. He will be live at State Street Pub on March 27th for State Street Beats. State Street Beats, not on the radio, but live and in the flesh. Also on the bill that evening will be 𝗕𝗪𝗡𝗚. And our DJ for the evening will be Sanford Black. As always, the Open Ox will be waiting for your beats. And the homie Nate from the Bad Boys of AV will be holding it down with the crazy visuals all night. We'll see you there.
Catch me in State Street, 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 catch about the beats.